Oh dear, I think I know what this is. You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything they say just starts...
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
I hope I can help. Necromancy may be legal in Cyrodiil, but few will openly admit to practicing it now that the Mages Guild has banned it. Farewell.
May you rest in peace.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Don't you understand, Steven?
Somebody has to kill the babysitter.
I'm too old for this shit.
Mockery. Oh, Master! I do not trust you! I cannot trust you or anyone ever again!
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters. Am I getting through to you at all?
Desperate. Your turn.
Desperate.
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 Your soul is mine.
Fatality. Leave them to me. I have you not. All too easy.
What? Bullshit, Mr. Handman.
Whoa, that's a cool suit. Where can I get one of those?
Patience, child. Patience.
Aim for the cat, dude! Aim for the cat! I'm trying, Evil Ted! I'm trying! Ah, just missed!
All we are is dust in the wind, dude. Dust. Wind. Dude.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith and the final episode of 2022. I am your host, Fractured Filter, and joining me, as always, my co-host, my friend, my compatriot in all this madness, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
I just have one quote. Just one quote. It goes, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment. I just have one question. Where is Kathleen Kennedy.
Her, yeah. That is ever the question. I keep hearing she's fired. She's not fired. Her employment status is awfully weird. So
You know, I'm very excited. One, because the holidays are almost over. We have one more day, and the holidays are over, and it's a nice palette cleanse. I debated whether or not how to kind of, when I was tweeting out about the show, I was like, what do I want to say? And I was like, part of it, I had typed something. I was like, we're gonna have a blast because Andor's over and Bad Batch is still bad. It'd be a nice palette cleanse because next week
begins the new round of Bad Batch. Yes.
If we so still, I'm still holding out hope. We still have 5 days to decide whether or not we're going through with this Bad Batch.
Unless you
there's not a lot of here's the thing. There's not a lot else that's really promising, and I really I don't want to do Tales of Jedi. I've seen Instagram floods my page with videos. If I see another Dooku,
I was gonna say I think the only episodes I would want to watch are the Dooku episodes, just to see what goes on with those, because the other 3 are just more of the Ahsoka show, and I could care less about Ahsoka.
2 flips of a wooden nickel.
Yeah. So that I'm just like, if I were to watch anything from Tales of the Jedi, it would just be the Dooku episodes, and that would be it.
Yeah. Well, I almost got into a fist fight today at the comic book store.
Did you really? You picking on the nerds in the comic book shop?
Well, no. But, so he's one of my friends. But these guys were in the shop for apparently like 3 hours. And didn't buy a single comic and didn't buy a singular coffee. And in our local comic book shop, the owner has a lot of sideshow pieces, a lot of artwork, sideshow pieces, figures.
Right.
No touchy. These things are every bit between $300 and $600. And
the crazy.
The specific owner is a Star Wars fan. Well, I say he says he loves everything Star Wars, but he does. I mean, he obviously loves the new Star Wars stuff, which
what a shame.
Well, I do like him.
I cannot shop there.
If you say that you're a Star Wars fan, I don't know how you can say you love anything about The Last Jedi, but I rest my case. But there's a lot of memorabilia there and whatnot. But these guys went over. He's got different sections. He's got a section for Book of Boba. He's got a section for Rogue One. I mean, he's got a bunch of Star Wars stuff. Anyway, so this guy, they were picking up. There's a section of Ahsoka with Commander Code. I don't know. Dobby also know better. But anyway, so they picked them up. This guy, and out of the corner of my eye, I'm talking about the new DC comics got delayed because of the weather and everything. But I was talking to him, and out of the corner of my eye, he drops 2 figures. And this is just, it's a common knowledge. When you go into a comic book shop, you don't touch the toys because they're not toys. Like, don't touch. Like, you just look.
No touchy.
Yeah, no touchy, even if it's shiny. So he drops them. Like I said, these figures, I mean, they start at like low end $250. So it hit, and there's a good distance between the shelf because they're mounted on the wall. There's a shelf on the wall, and so Ahsoka took a tumbling with one of the clone troopers. And I won't say his name, but his code name is Bright Eyes. So I walked over to Bright Eyes, and he's they're all smiling. They all fall, and they're like the fake smile, like, "Oh, you son of a have a good day." The cheesy, cheesy grin. But so they leave and everything, and so I go over there, and he's trying to fix up the characters, and I see that it is actually Ahsoka. I'm like, "Hey man, just go and leave her there. Like, she's broke. That's where she belongs." And he's like, "Whoa, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "Dude, she's a terrible character. Like, nobody likes Ahsoka.
She's a forced insert character."
And he lost it. He's like, "Dude, you're talking to the wrong crowd." And,
I wish this is where I wish I had weekends off so I could sometimes be there for these events.
Yeah, it's not like I go out like, okay, so here's the thing, like I'm Irish, like my dad's like they're all Irish. And I think it's like we don't technically go out and start unless we're drunk, but like we'll definitely finish a fight. And sometimes we like
there's something that I think naturally just pisses people off about the Irish.
I think
it's rather unfortunate, but
for them, not me. But so sometimes I just like to go and
poke the bear a little bit.
Well, I don't know if it's really poking the bear, but I just find myself by myself, like, up against the wall, because like you're nowhere to be found. Kind of like, the conversations I've had about Mandalore wasn't a person, he was a planet. I'm like, oh, you poor bastard child.
Yeah.
But so it's funny. I think he got a little bit defensive. He's like, oh, she's the best, man. I'm like, it's literally Dave Filoni in a mask, bro. Literally.
Basically. I mean, my God.
But yeah, so
well,
I do like the guy. They're good people, but like he obviously loves that side of it. And it's just so interesting. It's almost like, what's funny? It's like people say that Zack Snyder has a cult following, and
he kind of does.
Well, okay, yeah, well, touche, like to a certain extent. But you want to talk about cult following, man? Like Dave Filoni, Ahsoka, like, is like worship the ground.
The ground he walks on, yeah.
Well, just like Ahsoka, man. I can't go anywhere without people talking. Oh, she's just great, man. She's teenage, we all love Snips. # make Snips great again.
But she's a shoehorned character. She doesn't belong in a timeline, you freaking knobs.
And then I got another argument. See, this is where like you're nowhere. Like we need to come up with like some type of like smoke signal or like kind of like Batman that I can just shoot at night. So like you can come to like my defense, because like I got another argument. Somebody had the audacity to ask me how I liked Andor, and the person I was talking to, like they were genuine. Like I don't think they knew, but like they weren't poking fun. They're like, how do you like Andor? I'm like, it's terrible.
Yeah, so
like, why?
Like it or anything.
And then I had to go into the whole explanation about how it's a rip off Kyle Katarn, and it's so frustrating that when you try to explain that Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors were the original ones that found the Death Star plans or got the Death Star plans.
I just recently beat Dark Forces 1 as well. So yeah,
kudos.
Good times.
So when you explain that and they have no idea who Kyle Katarn is,
right?
Or they make the comment like, "Well, that's Legends. That's not canon." I'm like, and then I proceed to like try to like put the vein back in my neck. I'm like, listen, the people that you I did that. Then I just got like, the people that are running DSW and DLF are the same ones who said that canon is no longer canon, that it's Legends. So the fact that they said canon is no longer canon implies that at one point in time was the only canon that there is. So it's just interesting that you try to explain something and they have no idea who these characters are, and they literally think that
they look at you like you just stepped off of a spaceship or
like it's like I'm like Gandalf when they're in I forget where they're at. They're right before he fights the Balrog of Morgoth. But
Mines of Moira. Yeah,
Moira, and he there's a point where he's looking around, he's like, I have no memory of this place.
Yeah.
But I did tell who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody. Yeah, so it's just a lot of conversations around Andor.
Well, and that's kind of the funny thing too. When you brought up Ahsoka, is I found this. Let me bring this up. And like I say, I cannot legitimately understand how people have convinced themselves of this. And on Star Wars Theory's YouTube page, he put up a poll. Do you think Anakin would be more emotionally conflicted fighting Obi-Wan or Ahsoka during Order 66? And of course, look, the Ahsoka shills were certainly out in force for Dave Filoni's waifu. Apparently, they think this character that he only had a light connection to for all of 3 years at most, he'd have more conflicting emotions fighting her, going against her, than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, we have to look at these numbers in context, right?
Well, and I posted this on December 29th.
Yeah. Well,
I have not checked to see if there's an update.
For sure. You're missing one. I think we need to go over one key factor here. Obi-Wan never had sex with Ahsoka. Or I'm sorry, Obi-Wan never had sex with Anakin.
You had to take it there.
Bro, listen.
I'm trying to bring this to a serious point here.
Listen, I am serious. Obi-Wan never had relations with Anakin. Ahsoka did.
Oh.
And if she didn't, there's definitely a little.
You're as bad as Filoni and the shippers.
I'm not.
God, man.
Dude. I'm not. Listen, they may have not done it, but there was a little something going on. Nobody calls somebody snips.
You just.
But come on, this is ridiculous. Like, of course I gotta say something like that. Like, look at that, like 72-20. Like, are you kidding me? Like, of course.
That it's just what kind of baffles me, because I'm.
Listen, we're gonna do Clone Wars eventually. Either we do like a season at a time or something. But like,
yeah. Remember we talked about that before.
You cannot deny that it wasn't just a master and apprentice relationship.
No, and a lot of my source of evidence would be, go through the Revenge of the Sith book.
Right.
A lot of what is detailed in that really, and really just adds that weight to that final conflict between the two. And I mean, even throughout it, he does say don't make me destroy you.
And I don't know how fair this polls, because like I like Star Wars theory. And I have my issues with him. Like, I think at times he does like Disney, and like he's like, I'm not besmirching his name. Like, I think he has a love for Star Wars. He loves the original trilogy and all that and stuff. But he has towed the line between the new Disney stuff. But then he's come out and said that like Last Jedi's as great of a movie as whatever he was comparing it to. But I think he does have a lot of Disney shills on his page and follow him. And it's going to be herein lies the issue, because how many, like, I don't think it's a fair poll, because I don't know, man. I'd have to see, like, just based off his following and his content. Like, I think I'd love to see how many people are actually actually Star Wars fans, and then like DSW fans. Because this is illogical to think that more why? Okay, if you're going to say that, if you're going to put 72%, okay, why? Why is it more emotional? Well, the only logical explanation is because he had something going on with Ahsoka and not Obi-Wan.
Well, okay, here, let me do this. Let me see if that is still up.
Like, how can where he say in Attack of the Clones? He's like my father.
Yeah,
right?
In Attack of the yeah, exactly.
He's your friend. He's your mentor. He's like my father.
Yeah, and there's a deep love and respect between the two. Yes, Anakin was in the height of certainly that early dark side power and stuff like that. So
I'm just gonna say this: there was an episode where Padme was getting warmy with one of those scum senators, and Anakin caught her, and I'm thinking Ahsoka came in to console him. Could be wrong. And then to make matters even worse, whatever's got Ahsoka and Luke now. I mean, that's a double hitter, man.
She's trying to get all the She's trying to collect all the Skywalker.
She's trying to complete the Skywalker saga, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Oh boy. So yeah. So let's see. Let's see. Community.
Maybe we're just dying out, man. Maybe we're just old fossils, and we're now the minority versus the majority. Maybe that's why 72%.
It's still 72-28.
But was this on YouTube? Is this on Twitter?
This is on his YouTube. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if YouTube can censor stuff like Twitter. Be able to now that Musk owns it. I don't know.
It was something that was certainly I wanted to bring up.
Okay, but why? It's an interesting poll. Let's talk. If we're gonna do this, then we need to ask the whys. Why is 72% justified in favor of Ahsoka, not Anakin?
Because these are also much like how we know some people that their first experience of Star Wars was the sequel, that was the Disney trilogy, right?
Yeah.
So for some people, that could have been the same thing with the Clone Wars. That was their first kind of experience with Star Wars, unfortunately. And so they have a deep nostalgic bond to it, to where they will automatically go towards Ahsoka versus actually having some freaking common sense and voting appropriately. They're going it can often turn more into a fan favorite, or like just more of a popularity contest than an actual looking at the reasons that the person has expressed that should be what you're using to vote.
Out of 7 seasons of Clone Wars, and I didn't watch I'm not all the way through season 8. Is it 7 or 8? I can't remember.
It's 7.
7. So I'm not fully through season 7, but there's more emotion, and people are like, well, you're biased, man. I'm just gonna make a shirt that says you think I'm biased or whatever. But there's more emotion and connection in 1, 2, and 3. Not even the whole movies. I can take bits and pieces of just 1, 2, and 3 in the movies.
Yeah.
And there's more emotion in those parts of the movie than 7 years. This was a 7-year project. Like, I don't know, more of I guess that's subjective to say, more of a deeper emotion between Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Ahsoka. Like, maybe, and it probably is a biased comment, because like I watched Clone Wars and I'm like, I don't see, it's I don't know, man. It's almost like a forced.
It's a lot of it is very forced, because like I say,
it's just
Ahsoka herself, like I say, Ahsoka herself is a shoehorned character into this timeline, to where there was no presence of her until this show came along.
She wasn't established in canon. Sorry for those of you that are raging right now and want to kill me. Like, she's not canon. She was never canon. She's not even based off a character within canon, to my understanding. It was literally a created character. I don't think there's anything in canon that, like, Anakin never had an apprentice.
No. And that was even what was
and
that's what was the point. That was part of a point made in the Revenge of the Sith book, was Anakin, relenting on the fact that nobody has called him master.
I'm sorry. I stand corrected. Star Killer was, I forget Star Killer.
I
stand corrected.
I forget about Star Killer too sometimes,
because it is still deemed canon. I apologize. But Star Killer. See, we're not confused here though, because we're still trying to figure out if Omega was a female or a male. Star Killer, last time I checked, was a male. So I'm saying there.
It was also cloned.
He had no female character. There was no female apprentice.
This is also correct, but like I said, from the Revenge of the Sith book itself, was the very fact that Anakin, relenting on nobody ever called him master. He never got that. That was one of the things he would have liked.
His son's wife, though. No, I'm just kidding. Or ex-wife.
So, got any more evidence than that right there? But I mean, we also know
this show hard. I'm seeing more and more stuff around Ahsoka. Like I read this article. I don't know if I sent it to you, but it was like the cast of Ahsoka, and I'm just like, this is going to be the creme de la creme of all dumpster fires.
It's
Like,
I'm
I
really
just
curious
feel
what we're gonna get out of it. Yeah.
I don't know when it officially is releasing, but like I'm looking at the cast and I'm like, man, like I thought Andor was, every show that we do, I'm like, this is gonna be hard to endure. Like, I would almost rather go back to the like. I agree with I think Bob, Tuscan Bob maybe said it, or I don't know if Script Trooper. I said I would rather go back and watch Book of Boba just from the sheer comedic. The comedy and the memes that came out of that show versus watching any more.
Yeah,
like I will never, like ever, like I haven't even gone back and watched any of the Kenobi. Even I mean, there's sometimes videos pop up on your Instagram and stuff like that, but like I will never watch Kenobi. I will never go back and watch Andor. There's nothing.
No,
that I would even like.
There's nothing that would
100%.
really
If I'm
drag
having a
me
bad
back
day
to
and I want
watch
to
it.
watch, if I want to see how strong a Wookiee is, I'll go and watch Chrysanthemum beat the living tar out of Boba. Yeah, I don't understand how people are so hyped for this, man. I hate that word hype. It's a young kid word. I don't like it, but how they're so excited for it. And it's like
so hype, bro.
I sit here and I'm like, how can the shoehorn character be so popular amongst the masses? It's like she's got there's nothing. There's no depth to the character. She's like a literally adolescent teenage girl who is trying to decide whether or not she loves Anakin or not. So she doesn't have a shot because he's got feelings for Padme, and so she's playing this whole I'm going to play hard to get. It's probably not that, but I mean you could definitely see this whole hard to get thing. Like, oh well, I'm going to just leave the order, and that'll have Anakin chase after me, and he'll leave Padme, and they'll live happily ever after. And then since she couldn't get Anakin, she's like, well, the next best thing is Luke.
Oh boy.
You sent the gift. Don't oh boy. I mean, you the one who sent the meme.
Ah, damn it, I did, didn't I? Well, I guess that's on me.
But they're pushing it hard, and that's all I see, man, on Instagram, Twitter, Ahsoka. Like, oh, well, Ashley Eckstein describes visiting the Ahsoka set. Like, why? Here's the thing, though. Like, why couldn't she do it? Like, if I don't like the character.
That's kind of the funny thing. Like, I feel bad for the
what you just literally crap on her chest, bro. Like, she did it for 7 seasons. She gave 7 years of her life to this project, and you're gonna choose Rosario. What's her name? Rosia
Dawson.
Rosario Dawson. Like, again, I'm not racist or anything. That has nothing to do with it. But you have the actual character, the voice actor,
right?
7 years.
Well, that's
7 years.
I've been saying that since they
season. 30 some odd episodes, 24, 30 episodes. So do the math. And you're going to choose this character, this person?
That's what kind of got me. That's what kind of got me with a lot of these is how like they had the voice actors, and for the most part, the voice actors would have been fine to fit the role live action. So I just
you don't think Ashley Eckstein could have done it?
I think she could. No, that's what I'm saying. I think she could have done it.
100%. But she's white. She can't do it.
It's just amazing. Well, the voice cast for from Rebels for that played Space Aladdin.
Oh yeah,
Ezra.
That's what I wanted to go over.
I think.
Yeah,
they don't even cast him for the live action role.
They casted this guy for Thrawn, and I'm looking at him like, oh God, please don't, no.
Oh, is that God, something Mickelson, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not Mads Mikkelsen, but somebody else.
I'm like, no.
Yeah,
call Gary Oldman. Call Gary Oldman right now. Don't you besmirch his name, you son of a.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it might be. If he was younger, yes.
Dude, look, de-aging. Look, I mean, clearly it worked with Hayden Christensen on Kenobi. He looked
barely worked.
He looked absolutely like he was in his 20s. Not really wrinkly eyes. Gary Oldman can do it, dude. He could.
I have no doubt he could. I'm just saying, like, just for age and purposes. It's like,
well, how old? Okay, we have to
What?
establish how old Thrawn is, and what I mean. And I think Gary Oldman could do it. I'm biased. I love Gary
No,
Oldman.
I think he would probably be great for the role too.
It's not because I'm a Jim Gordon fan. No, but like, here's the thing though. Like, this Nicholas, you choose this guy who, like, if you're gonna do this thing, if you're going to open this can of worms, then at least go all out with it and spend the money and get actual characters. I'm sorry, get actual actors that can. Again, but here's even if you get good actors, it comes down to the story and the writing and Star DSW and what do we call it? Is it DSW or DFL? Like, I call it both.
Disney Lucasfilm,
but I say
DLF.
Disney Star Wars. I'd just say both.
Either or. I mean, it doesn't.
But it comes down to the story. And last time I checked, they had really, really solid writers. What's his name? Joby Harold.
Yep.
I need to try and find the article because it said every single. It was like they were talking about. Oh, and then like the girl who played Sabine Wren on Mando or Boba, whatever was it, Mando, whatever her name was. She's reprising her role apparently. Rosaria Dawson, that Mickelson guy, and then they were like Space Aladdin, Mina Masood. Is that who's doing it?
Ezra Bridger.
Is he playing Mina Masood, the guy who played in Aladdin?
Did they actually get it? Little Space Aladdin?
But that's what I thought. I thought Mina Masood or whatever. He played Aladdin in the live action. And I thought that's hilarious because they called him Space Aladdin.
That's certainly what I've called Ezra. Iman Esfandi is Ezra Bridger.
I thought it was Mina
Tasha Liu Bordizzo is Sabine Wren, which isn't the voice actress.
So the girl that played Sabine Wren on. Oh no, that's not Sabine. Who played in Mando? Was Sabine Wren not in Mando?
No, Mando did not have. No, are you thinking of Fennec Shand?
No, the
Book of Boba.
And Mando, not Book of Boba.
Mando. Oh. Are you thinking of Oh God.
She had the dark saber. Fought Sabine for the dark saber. Well, she didn't fight. Sabine gave her the dark saber.
Yeah, I gave her the dark saber.
What is her name? She was redhead.
Yeah, no.
Death Watch.
No, she wasn't Death Watch. She was
part
of the wimpy Mandalorian clique.
Yeah, but they alluded to the fact that she's Death Watch. What is her name? I'll look it up. Huh?
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan.
Yeah. Bo-Katan cries. Yeah. Played by Katie Sackhoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, well. Oh yeah, she's gonna be reprising her role.
Yeah,
without a doubt. She gets to keep being her character, which is like, why her over everyone else?
Over Ashley Eckstein. She just got screwed.
She got screwed big time with that one. I gotta wonder if she was pissed. I mean, she didn't obviously wouldn't say anything publicly, but you gotta wonder if just a little bit pissed.
I would have
with something like that happening. Like you say, for playing that character for as long as she had, voicing it and everything. And
I mean, it's not on the same lines, but it's like James Earl Jones being, Vader for the inception of Star Wars, and then be like for Kenobi, hey, like we're not going to bring you back. We're going with, or not even
we're gonna use AI to create your voice, basically.
Yeah, it could have been, or just go with somebody else to do it. I could have just been because.
And what's funny though is that she still comes back and Eckstein still comes back and voices Ahsoka for Tales of the Jedi, and they don't bring in Rosario Dawson to voice her. So I think that's kind of a funny, like, weird dichotomy they got going on there, where they'll have the live action, yes, different than the voice acted version. Would have saved y'all some freaking time.
She doesn't even. I can't even say she's good at Ahsoka, but it's like, I don't know. It's hard when you have somebody for 7 years and then you change it up, and she doesn't even sound like Ahsoka. Doesn't even look like Ahsoka.
No,
it's live action versus CG, cartoon.
Yeah, that's kind of getting into that whole little war there. Yeah.
I don't know if I can mentally watch this. I don't think I can literally do Ahsoka. Like, but I also said the same thing when we were starting with Kenobi. I was like, well, that's different. Like I think
Kenobi was certainly an interesting bag of.
It was hard. Kenobi was harder because I told, because we came up with a plan to read the book before it, right? And I had got done with the book. I was like, okay, I got 4 weeks to read this book. And it was like 4 weeks before the show premiered, and I got it done in a week and a half. And I was just so enthralled with the book. I was like, oh, this is an amazing, like, this book is absolutely fantastic. It captures the essence of, where Obi-Wan was and everything. And then watching that show just was bad. I think everything that we've seen with Ahsoka, like, there's just different, man. It's like, there's nothing I like about Ahsoka. I don't know about you.
No.
There's absolutely nothing I like. So it's like, why go through and watch this show? Like, we should, because we have a duty to those who listen, grandma and mom and cousin. But it's like, there's nothing that I like about Ahsoka, and there's really, like, I don't, like, part of me, like, absolutely just hard no, like, I don't want to watch it because I know they're bringing Thrawn in, and Thrawn is, as you know, one of my favorite characters. One of my favorite. He's not the favorite, but he's definitely, like, top
favorite, yeah,
top 3, top 4. And I know that they're bringing him in, and I promise you, I will quit and raise this city to the ground if I see any hint of octopus whales in this show. I will lose my mind. I will snap. I will break my computer. If I see any squid,
you actually just got me thinking that I wonder if they will do a live action recreation of Thrawn's fall at that moment.
Yeah,
I'm really now starting to wonder if they're going to recreate that live action.
I will lose. I will go get arrested for raising the city to the ground. I'm not raise the city, but I'm gonna lose it if I see any squid. And I use the term squid because we saw Cad Bane in the cartoon and how well they recreated him live action.
Oh yeah, stellar job there.
And by great, I mean absolutely atrocious. They have no sense of creativity, and the aliens suck. Aliens don't look like aliens. The Rodian is probably one of the simplest things to recreate, and you couldn't even do it in Mandalorian.
So I found so now this is funny on that topic, right? Of lazy alien creations and stuff. And so I found this thing when I was watching OG Star Wars' Calf Chat on Thursday, and she had this was part of her topic for it was this. And tell me if you if the alien dude kind of reminds you of another certain superhero character out there. So tell me, does this guy kind of make you think of anybody else? Another dude, kind of red.
You have got to be kidding me. The boy from hell.
Oh, yep. Old Hellboy himself.
What is that ridiculous wooden Gandalf lightsaber.
Yeah, he basically has like a scabbard sort of like lightsaber thing, and it just goes to show how lazy they further
you know what that
are.
character is? That's a combination of Hellboy and the guy that Hellboy was trying to the Nazi guy at the beginning of the movie. Like they like got together and had a baby.
Oh my god. So yeah, this is over here on Screen Rant. Star Wars' coolest Jedi has arrived. Move over, Mace Windu. Just freaking wow. So and this all comes from the freaking High Republic series is here debuting the secret past of a Jedi Master, Porter Engle, the Blade of Bardota.
I don't know if it's just this generation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just within the last like 5-10 years.
Yeah.
But everybody's become lazy. And
Very
this
lazy.
is how I'm going to prove that I'm not biased because I will say, like, I watched Black Adam. And I hate
you mean The Rock, the movie?
Yes. I hate Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I do not like him. I think he's just the worst actor ever. He was decent within WWF.
The good old days.
The Attitude Era, but like I think he's just a terrible actor. And so I watched the movie, and I think it's a terrible movie because it's like the movie made the characters are good characters within the like canon comics, but like the movie was terrible. They were trying to like we're gonna kill we're gonna go after Black Adam and not tell anybody why we are going after Black Adam. Oh, but now we're gonna go after the Sabak and the Crown of Sabak and just go back and forth. It's just like every single movie, like it's just like I don't know if it's a generational thing, but everything sucks. Everything is boring. Why must everything be so boring and
I think this is
boring?
Yeah.
DC.
Funny thing is, somebody kind of pointed this out that I saw was that they were saying how it's possibly due to an oversaturation issue. Because think about it, how
I don't even think it's an oversaturation.
This is kind of because they're saying back in the day, you had like you had very limited TV channels, and you knew your cartoons were on at a certain time, and those certain programs you knew you couldn't miss. So you had to park your butt at that time to catch those certain ones, and not just cartoons, but other TV shows. You knew that you had to catch it or else you'd miss it, and hope to God they played reruns.
Yeah.
But now we have streaming and stuff like that, so we don't have to worry about it. It's all a very leisurely thing, but at the same time, we've got so much crap that's, like you say, just flooded the market, and it's no longer the must see sort of thing. It's just kind of like, it's there. And then some people are just, I have sometimes stuff on in the background myself, and that's what it just basically becomes, background noise.
I hear your point.
Well, it doesn't almost have to be. It doesn't have to be high quality. It just has to be there.
But nothing's high quality.
No, it's no.
Nothing's high quality. Nothing. There's no passion. I want you to. So it's the last show of the year. Screw it. We still have time. We're gonna go off the rails a little bit. We're gonna throw an audible. So I want you to tell me the last good Marvel movie that you saw, and I'm gonna tell you the last good movie, a DC movie that I saw, from passion, quality, just everything. You go first.
The only thing I can think that was at least remotely good from Marvel as of late was the Spider-Man No Way Home.
That was
pure
story.
It was so basically it was the whole 3 movies were effectively, as I noticed, kind of the origin story for him becoming a real Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But in this last one, I would say there was aspects of the story that were still kind of weak, but it seemed like at least some of the actors that were brought into this were either were just like having fun and they wanted to do this. They were passionate about it. One even admitted he was here for the paycheck. But it was at least it was better than what they've been putting out, and it was probably the top tier of their Spider-Man movies. I would still say probably the best one for Marvel and Spider-Man was the Spider-Man 2. And that goes back to way back, 2002 or something like that. So I mean, but for new age, and I've watched a lot of the Marvel movies. They're okay, but there's nothing that I'm like, I would say, oh yeah, that was top tier. But for Marvel, I'd say, yeah, the third Spider-Man movie that they did under their roof was good. And there were some great moments, great performances, and it was great having Tobey Maguire come back and be Spider-Man again as more of he did play kind of the mentor role and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of great. A little hint of something almost. So there was, and Andrew Garfield kind of got to get a shining moment for his Spider-Man. So that was good. And there was a lot of, it did hit some nice emotional moments here and there. So I would say that would be my pick for Marvel. So I don't know what yours is kind of.
Well, I'd say the last good DC movie. I have to go with the Nolan movies, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Even
though the third movie kind of was weak-ish, but it's still a solid trilogy.
Here's the thing: movies is still plural, and 2 equals plural, and 3 is a party. So I didn't. Yeah, the third one is just terrible. But even the Justice League, the first the first one, I didn't like it. I think that it was too short. They got some of the character. I don't think they portrayed the characters correctly. Well, not maybe. Yeah, I think they could have portrayed them better. Zack Snyder's run. Zack Snyder gets hated on a lot. There's some things I don't like about Snyder. I did like his cut a little bit better than the original Justice League, just because it brought more depth. But
yeah. Well, and it was his original vision for what he wanted to do versus Joss Whedon, who came in and was trying to reshoot, rescript, and stuff like that.
But even Matt Reeves, Batman, there's obviously some things I don't like about that. There's things I don't like about it, but it's just, I don't know, man.
Which one? Wait, Matt Reeves? Oh, was that the Batman?
The Batman. Yeah.
Okay. That newest one that came out.
I don't know, man. I just feel like everything is we need to talk about but even so sometimes I get online and see what movies are playing at the local theater. Nothing looks good. It's
well, I think what I think you and I have talked about this before, and it comes down to passion. The people that are behind a lot of these projects just aren't passionate like they were before, and the crowd, the certainly for writing and storytelling and stuff like that has taken that dip of, now it's just, instead of more subtlety, it's just a lot of overtness.
Yeah.
So it instead of it's telling instead of just showing or just kind of doing things in a more creative fashion. It's very dumbed down almost in a way, just because of like I say, just how blunt they are with their storytelling, with their messages and crap like that.
But it's also with video games, man.
Oh god,
and someone I've heard it all. Oh, you're an Xbox fan. Of course, they don't have any good games. What? Shut up. But it's
that's when you just that's when you just go, if they're especially the Sony fans, just go, oh yeah, tell me again, how many of your quote unquote exclusives have gone over to PC now?
Yeah, right. How's Spider-Man working out for you? Yeah, it's there was an era where they were releasing really great games, and I get that everything's going digital and blah blah. I get that, but it was there was an era where the era of GameStop, man. Before the whole stonk thing happened with GameStop, the whole insider trading thing, like I'd go to GameStop, man, and I would pre-order games, and I get so excited, and now it's like there's no the games are like there's no good games.
The last game I pre-ordered, like legitimately, I think pre-ordered and went into a GameStop to pick up
Max Payne.
It was my last time doing this. It was oh crap, I had to name it Watch Dogs, the first Watch Dogs, because I needed it. For one, I needed a game to play on my PS4.
Yeah.
My PlayStation 4 at the time when that was still brand new, and I was excited for it. I got a little sucked in by the hype, but man, it was this call. And I even that was my first time also deciding to do because I was closing that night. And so I was like, all right, I'll just head on by after work and I'll grab my my copy of Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
And God, that was
the last game that I probably pre-ordered was
I've just been dead on games. I'm just like, man.
Gears of War. Is it a Gears of War Max Payne? But it was an exclusive where Gears of War. Gears
of War probably,
and I got the COG and everything. But Max Payne, I got one of the quarters.
Oh, Max Payne 3.
One of the I can't remember what it was. It was
not the best one.
No, it wasn't Max Payne 3. I think it was the first. I think it was the first Max Payne or the second one. But
no. Those were PC exclusives. So unless you were actually playing on PC back in the day. Oh well. Never mind. They did get ported to PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. So I went in and I got. I still have my Xbox games, but I got the quarter inch figure, whatever the 1/4 scale figure, and I got that, and I got the. There's a keychain, and it was a bullet, and you put stuff in it, like not cocaine because I don't do drugs, but you put stuff in it.
Oddly specific though.
Well, based on the game, bullets and drugs, but
I know.
But but this was the era of Wolfenstein, Doom, Max Payne, Gears of War, Halo. There was a run when I mean, I never played. I know Watch Dogs, but God, I mean, KOTOR, all these games, man, they were great games. You got excited for, and there hasn't been a good game since. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 is good. Actually, really good. I mean, if you're not a Call of Duty fan, then you're not gonna like it. But again, I'm biased because sometimes I say I'm biased and then I say I'm not biased. So it depends on the day. But I really like. I always get them mixed up. I like Treyarch. I don't like Infinity Ward. So. Yeah, I think it just comes down to passion. But even with what's funny? I was watching. I love watching the One Bite reviews. Dave Portnoy. Do you ever watch those? One Bite, Everybody Knows Rules.
No, I haven't.
Because Dave Portnoy, he's Barstool Sports. And he goes around and he eats pizza and he grades them. And it's funny because he's like One Bite, Everybody Knows Rules, and he ends up eating the whole piece and he grades it. And I think he's done 4,000 reviews now. He's been doing it for 10 years. I don't know how many years he's been doing it. But I was watching on YouTube and somebody commented this. He's like, and tell me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna have the budget wrong, so tell me if I'm wrong. But it said Netflix has a $32 million budget, and here I am watching pizza reviews on YouTube. Get this man a show, or get your stuff together, Netflix. It's like.
That's what a lot of people have talked about is how now, it's things like live streams and gaming live streams, stuff like that are taking over certain aspects of what people watch and consume.
I mean, there's no passion. I was on my way home last night, and I got out at a decent hour, but I was on my way home. And I was able to catch Tim and Bob and what's Bob?
Oh,
Greg.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I got to watch the replay.
Yeah, so I caught a little bit because they had Allura on, and so I was able to catch a little bit of it. And I was like, I'd much rather watch that than any Disney show that they're popping out. Because I think to your point, I think live streams are now. I mean, they're the next up and coming thing because it's not only do you feel a sense of connection because everybody not everybody watches, but there's a sense of community and camaraderie. I can never say the word camaraderie. Camaraderie when you watch. I popped in and he's like, "Oh man, like Jay Hitman's in the house. Welcome, brother." And Tim gave me gave a shout out, and then everybody that was coming in, he's like, "You guys freaking rock." And yeah, they're talking to themselves, but it's like they're also people. They're chatting and writing stuff down, and they're chatting about whatever people are wanting to chat about versus watching a poorly constructed.
Yeah, it's getting real conversations out of people versus getting scripted events and stuff like that, which is, it's kind of funny too, considering unscripted, the idea of unscripted. I mean, that's kind of what people thought they were getting out of the old wrestling days, was unscripted moments and stuff like that. And that's what gravitated everybody towards it. And then once it turned into quote unquote sports entertainment and the kayfabe went away, that's when it started kind of losing its flair.
Well, I'll tell you this, I'll watch our replays. Not because I want to figure. Well, no, I'm being honest with you. Not because I want to critique it, but I'll go back and I'll rewatch our stuff, re-listen, rewatch. You know what I mean?
Whatever,
re-listen to our stuff, and it's because I have no desire to spend because I what you're gonna get from Netflix, which is not great.
No,
and we were talking a couple of shows ago when we had Raging Rhino and Greg and. I think the bubble is about to burst if it hasn't already. It hasn't already, but I believe the bubble is going to burst and something's going to give.
Sooner or later
with the streaming stuff. But it just comes down to passion. That's the saddest thing, man. And maybe it's just a dying breed, and maybe it's a lost art. I know people who listen to our show are like, man, you guys are so far up Lucas's rear. If he or he's, you got him so far up your rear, if he sneezes, it's coming out your mouth, or you guys are so far up his rear, whatever you want to say. But it's you can say that. And I don't, I've said this before, man, I don't idolize anybody. Only one person I do. And George isn't one of them, or George isn't that person, but you can't argue that he had a passion for what he did.
Right.
He had a brilliance and a knowledge of the business, and
he knew what he wanted to see. He knew what he
didn't,
wanted to put out
didn't
there.
care. He did not care about and I don't know if Lucasfilm had board of directors. It was he owned it, so I don't know if there's a board of directors necessarily for with Lucasfilm. I don't know. I know some companies do, but he just, I don't think he cared. It's if you like it, great. You don't, fine. But at the end of the day, I'm doing what I want to do, and my goal is to hopefully have people love it. But I'm still going to do what I do, and I don't care about the politics of it. I don't care if I offend anybody. Maybe he did. The politics, I don't think necessarily, but I think
he wanted to do his thing. Yeah, that was basically it.
And with Disney now, you got to be politically correct. You can't have. You can't.
No, you got to defend Gina Carano,
but you can't defend Gina Carano, but you sure as heck can defend Ingram Moses.
Oh God, yeah.
Right. You can't have Ashley Eckstein reprise the role, but you can have Rosie Dawson become the new. So it's so political now. It's so.
It's also sad and boring.
It's not a, like I said, it's not a inclusivity is that's not the issue. You're so hell bent on pushing your agenda and going with the culture or this new culture that you're not creating. Yeah, it's all so
I feel like I've used it too much, but god damn it.
We should
is it not accurate or what?
2023 is going to be the year that we have our own shop. We're going to create a shop.
I've already been looking into that.
Lord willing. Yeah. Details to come. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss. Shameless.
Oh yeah.
No, but yeah. So
do it now.
Yeah. Do it now if you want to leave. Great move. Yeah. But it's just, it's there's nothing.
No, the frustrations is real, man. I understand it.
But like Tim has brought this up in past shows. Is like, are we like the last of the Mohicans, if you will? I don't mean that in a racist, but I use that like, are we the
You
last?
don't have it. Doesn't say it, man. You don't have to qualify.
But
It's okay.
Brother, we gotta qualify. Like, are we the last of the Mohicans, man?
Are we the last? Yeah, the last breed of original Star Wars fans, likers of the George Lucas era and stuff like that. I've heard him bring that up, and but at the same time, but at the same time, he's been also Tim's been very vocal on also the idea of still promoting the expanded universe and stuff like that. Don't let the clowns, have the day.
Well,
if you get a chance, smack him back and be like, no, here's some real lore on it,
He's also said, like, you need to get up and do the work. Like, if you're going to sit here and complain, if you will, like, well, I don't think it's really complain, but like, you need to go out and you need to be like, actually like be vocal and don't just complain. Like, you brought up the interesting thing that OG hits it. Like, have we just become have we become what we despise or something like that? Like the tweet.
Yeah.
And again, I still argue like, no, like,
well, and
if I wasn't, I would say yes if you and I weren't doing this show and we just complained at work and whatnot. But no, like, we've got this platform. We use this platform to defend what so it's not complaining in a sense. It is vocalizing.
Well, no, and that was my point was called, I don't believe so, because we also bring up specific points on why it's bad and why these things have not lived up to certain expectations and everything like that. So I don't just see it as, basically old man shouting at clouds, but we are trying to, because this is the thing, we love Star Wars. We don't want to see it turn to shit like it's become. So we have tried to provide a degree of, evidence and thought and stuff like that, and, backing to why these have been bad ideas. And I mean, you have somebody like Script Trooper who's basically trying to rewrite The Force Awakens. God bless him.
Which, like I said,
that
is one thing that I would never want anybody to rewrite. But if anybody could do it, I believe it would be Script.
Yeah.
So,
but go check out Script Trooper on YouTube. He's been doing a great job with that.
I'll give a shout. I'll give him a shout out and tweet out some stuff. But he's absolutely great, man. And if it wasn't for, like, we've been doing the 48 episodes. Had no idea that we would get this far, but it's the last show of the year. I think doing kind of reflection of the year, like, if you for those of that are listening now or may catch the replay, like, it's like Greg said, like, if you have a passion for this, like, go out and treat it as a passion. Don't do this because you have hopes of being like OG or
the
fan from the fame, because at the end of the day, like, the fame is nothing. It really is nothing. Like, you think, oh, well, it's cool. People will know your name and retweet and join you on your show. Like, it's fun. Like, I had a blast, right? When Raging and Greg and
that was
Script came
great.
On. Like, it was great, man. Because
it was a fun time.
I mean, there is a little bit of affirmation. Like, man, like we've come a little bit, and like, who are we to have these guys on our show? So it is humbling, but like, at the end of the day, man, like, I care less if we have guests. It's two best friends doing a show together, talking about what they want to talk about and defending the things that they believe need defending. So any advice, like, going over the whole year, like, that's what I would say, man. It's just this started out as Fracture and I at work talking about the books, having an idea about a podcast. And for the longest time, we would talk about it and then nothing would come of it. And finally Fractured was like, I got to kick myself in the butt and get it done. And I still, to this day, I am not technologically savvy. Fractured has carried this show because all the technical stuff. And the one thing that I'm good at, I think, is PR and building relationships and being like, and then just trying to figure out how to turn my computer on. So, but with that said, like if you, this just started out as two guys becoming friends and talking about stuff that they wanted to talk about and things that
through the passion of Star Wars.
And 48 shows later, like it's not about becoming like famous. Like I could care less if my tweets get retweeted or not. Like it's cool when they do. It's cool when Raging Rhino, like he followed me back. I was like, oh, that's awesome, man. Like thanks, man. Like in the moment, like it is like, man, like
everybody gets that little dopamine hit when they
a little bit, but it's more like, man, like, am I making a difference? Or are these guys seeing what we're doing and using our platform on their platform, like taking our you know what I mean? Like using what we're doing and but that's what it's about, man. And it's awesome and it's reciprocated because when I watch like what Raging Rhino's doing, I retweet his stuff and I catch like what Bob and Tim or like I'll retweet their stuff. I hate Star Trek. I loathe Star Trek because I'm a Star Wars. But I have enough respect for Tim and Greg that I will retweet the spacing because Tim and Greg, like I don't understand. I've never met anybody who can like both. I thought it was an anomaly. I'm Irish and we were always taught that we hate the Scots. But I will push I will push the spacing because I believe what Tim is doing. I believe in what Tim's doing. I believe in what Greg's doing. And the same thing with OG. OG is absolutely amazing. I'd love to get her on the show one of these days. And if you're listening to OG, like it's going to happen. We're going to get you on.
Sometime.
Hopefully. But that's why, like, I think the point I'm trying to make is like it's reciprocate. Like, you know, we're trying to fight this fight and we're doing it together. But at the end of the day, we're not doing it for the fame. Maybe some are. I don't know. Geeks and gamers, maybe they're doing it for the fame. Drunk 3PO, maybe he's doing it for. I don't know, right? But I know the guys that I follow and you follow because I think follow the same. Like I absolutely unequivocally say that we're doing it because of what we believe in, and it has nothing to do with the fame. Could be wrong, but
nah. I mean, like you said, it's just all about the passion for it.
You know,
but I mean, you know, you can't know anybody's real reasonings behind anything until you talk to them directly or anything like that, or a fly on the proverbial wall to see the.
I think you and I can both say that, like, Script with 100% passion, Greg 100% passion.
You don't endure the torturous pain of Force Awakens to that extent without a degree of passion and love for this.
Yeah. I mean, my goodness, man! If I could create a powder that would turn into meatloaf, I would do it.
Interesting.
Whatever. You remember she got the stuff and she put the water and then
right. It was like a bread roll thing or something.
Whatever, like meatloaf, bread roll, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that for a moment.
If I could, you know, save $400,000 on a house and live in an AT-AT, I would.
Dude, that would be awesome. But the only problem would be getting out of the ATST unless you had like an elevator or something.
So,
otherwise, that'd be freaking awesome as hell. I live in an AT-AT. Hell yeah!
I should have come prepared and created a top like list of our favorite shows. I think that'd be fun to just quickly just try to think about our.
I mean, I could even just kind of look at the catalog really quick. Hang on.
The correct answer is every show is our favorite.
Well, yeah, but you know,
but definitely highlights.
Yeah, that probably should have been something I was considering a little more. But and hey, to anybody out there over on the YouTubes, I've got it set up for the playlist. I've been making sure and saving every episode into it, so it's in there, new and old. We got them all there documented. You know, I will
Boba
say
Rangers was a good one.
What's that?
Boba Rangers. Go Boba
Rangers. Yeah, because that was when we were. That was what the third episode in of that, and
we're still trying to figure out how to do this podcast, and
we were kind of getting our thing. Yeah, we were trying to find the right format for ourselves. I do like our first one just for the fact of yeah, it started out a little shaky at first.
Yeah.
But I might need to create an actual thumbnail for some of these. God, I mean, for me it was partly creating the thumbnails, which is my favorite bits. But then I did like when we were talking about Mace Windu possibly living again.
Yeah, because it's gonna happen. Because he, and
that was we were reviewing Mandalorian at the time to get us through that till we got to I think we were leading up to Obi-Wan. Is that what was going on? Yeah.
Anything that had to do with Kenobi, I didn't like, and I'd say the live parties were hard to endure.
Oh yeah, because we were kind of trying to do watch parties.
Which
that was a weird experiment for us.
Well, because you can't like you got to stop every time to make.
Well, I certainly wanted to stop every time, but like with Daviasa there, and like I said, without us being on camera, and who knows, maybe someday we'll be on camera, but
you got to set up
doing a watch party when you're just an avatar talking about what's going on.
Unless you're Greg.
It's kind of tough.
Greg's avatar is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. His is freaking awesome.
If I could somehow
I know I
big
do
red eyes.
I think I know how to do that. I've just been lazy and I haven't done that. But
2023, don't be lazy.
Well, I haven't been. I've been like, doing streams and stuff. Get off my back, man. God, yeah, because then we were dude. Into the Kenobi series. Man, I made a comment about that whole her getting gut stabbed twice. Man, that brought out the Kenobi shills so goddamn hard.
It's so funny because we were talking about like she gets stabbed twice in the gut. Darth Maul survives being cut in half, but Qui-Gon.
Yeah, Qui-Gon's the only man that dies.
Yeah, he survives because he's got 4 stomachs.
Oh, that's right. We had to go back to Mandalorian.
Yeah,
after Kenobi. That's right. And I played the clip, man. Kenobi just ended me. Like
I know.
It was almost refreshing to go back to Mandalorian at that time.
Oh, 1000%. And just like, and then when we finished Andor, I was excited to go back to Bad Batch.
Yeah. And we've talked about a bunch of goofy stuff. Oh, I love those Stormtrooper hanging out in the pool.
I mean, like I said, there's still hope. I mean, if we
it's been I probably should I should. But I mean, any clips for sure that I've grabbed out of our show, although I sometimes I wish I've gotten more, but I mean, I do have a separate playlist which I called which is this SKS Shorts. And that's like a lot of the different topics and stuff that we've brought up on the show. So I have that set up as well. And that's just been like when we've talked about trailers and everything like that.
How many
Multiverse of Madness?
Is it 6?
Huh?
How many episodes was Tales of the Jedi?
6 episodes. 3 of Ahsoka and 3 of Dooku. Yeah.
Visions looks terrible.
Oh, I forgot about Visions.
Yeah.
Oh, the freaking weeb one with all the different disconnected episodes and stuff.
It's like a combination of like manga and Star Wars, but there's only 9, and half these I don't even know what these people are. The 9th.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. That was kind of a weird one, just because it was just
Is it even Star Wars?
What, Visions?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Star Wars, but it's not connected to anything at all.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that it's quote unquote Star Wars.
We have Star Wars Resistance. What is this?
Oh God, that looked horrible. I didn't even watch it, but that looked terrible.
Oh, there's two seasons, and they're only 24 minutes.
How many episodes?
It looks like 21.
Oh God!
It looks like Nickelodeon meets Disney.
Yeah, that one looked really bad.
But there is, I don't even know who these characters are. There's BB-8.
No, it's a bunch of new. It's like a bunch of new original characters.
There's Grogu and the Dust Bunnies we can review.
Grogu and the Dust Bunnies? Are you serious?
1000%. Look it up. Zen, Grogu and Dust Bunnies. With a thing in the background that looks like COVID-19. A hand-drawn animated story about
what the hell?
Ghibli.
Zen, Grogu, and the Dust Bunnies.
Yeah, it's only 3 minutes. But look at the background. Doesn't that look like COVID-19 germs? Let's ask this. Which one do you think is?
Oh
worse?
my God! What the hell?
Yeah, which
it's
one?
A hand-drawn animated short by Studio Ghibli.
Yeah. What do you think? Which holiday special do you think is worse? This Lego holiday special or the original Star Wars holiday special?
I can't say, just for the fact that I haven't watched the Lego holiday special.
Yeah. There's that one. Clone Wars. Oh, there's Droid Tales. We could do Droid Tales.
Otherwise, I mean, the thing about the Star Wars holiday special is just that it's now so memeable, and there's just like now it's just like it's so bad it's good sort of thing, where it's just kind of like it's so just bizarre and out there, and a very coke heavy Carrie Fisher. But
yeah,
it's like such a weird thing of like there's some good bits, I think, if I remember, like the animation. They did like a whole animation thing of Boba Fett going after the crew, but then just some bizarre out there late 70s, early 80s wackiness that just came out of it. All the Wookiees are speaking Shiri-Wook. You can't understand a goddamn thing that comes out of those Wookiees' mouths.
Right.
A very over the top Imperial commander telling the little Wookiee, go clean your go clean your room? Something like that. Oh, I mean, an obscene jowl old Wookiee. Oh my god. You know what? I'd probably rather this is probably extreme, but I'd probably rather watch that than anything Disney has put out for Star Wars.
Really?
Probably.
I don't know. I agree.
Because at least it's basically so bad that even like George Lucas was like, no, this is not part of anything.
Yeah. He's like, nope.
So I can at least take it, and if anything, it's like, you know, very experimental. But it at least wasn't character damaging to the main cast and villains, other than like some dipshit Imperial officer. But even then, it's like, you know, it's just for this little special, and that's it. It doesn't like do anything to make Darth Vader look retarded or anything. It's just that. So, oh god, yeah,
very, very bad. So I'm trying to look and see. So obviously, like, it's gonna sound like I'm trying to get out of Bad Batch. I'm really not. But the time frame. So Bad Batch, and then when does Mando season 3? And we've decided that we're not doing Ahsoka. Is that correct?
I don't know because it all depends on when everything's coming out. Was it Mandalorian season 3 release date? March.
Wonderful.
January, February, March. So we got 3 months before Mandalorian.
Ahsoka's probably gonna be after that.
Nothing is popping up for a release date. I'm imagining it'll be sometime this year, maybe more towards the end, hopefully, after.
So what do we do? Do we do Bad Batch 2? We doing Clone Wars? Do we have to do Rebels? Like, I don't know.
Rebels is well, depending on what we get some in between time to check that other stuff out. Depending on what happens this year,
I don't know. I feel like we just have to do Bad Batch 2. Is that what you're saying?
Wow. And if anything, if they run too close into each other, we can then, when the time comes, we can pick one over the other. Because I got a feeling Mandalorian is going to be meant to be a little bit bigger than Bad Batch, although Bad Batch has been pretty anticipated by the fan base. So,
yeah. Because
I'm trying to.
I don't want to do. Being committed to like doing Clone Wars, that pending we last 7 years, the show lasts 7 years. Like, it's gonna last. That's a long. That's a commitment. Because you think about it's 20. Well, maybe, yeah. We'd have to look at see how many. Like, I'm not saying we're going to, but like, let's do the math. There's 20. Let's say there's 24 episodes in each season. Is that right? Let's see here.
Sometimes, yeah, it depends. Now they've been kind of cutting down episodes, so.
Oh, within recent seasons?
Yeah.
What is that, man? Oh, Bad Batch, get off. Where? Thing's not working. I'm just curious how many seasons are in each season. Or how many seasons are in each. See, this is what happens when we talk about Ahsoka. Your brain melts. How many episodes? I was like 24.
Yeah, I'm also trying to find. I'm trying to remember. I remember somebody had posted the whole scheduling for the Bad Batch because it was going to be like. There was like a weird. They were doing like a whole stupid mid-season break or something, if I remember.
Oh,
right.
Are they really?
Here it is. March 1st is the supposed release date for Mando season 3, and then I found this again. Which starts January 4th. We get the 2 episodes. Then go January 11th, 18th. This is supposed to run all the way to March. So they're going to have an episode during the same time as Mando season 3, supposedly. So independent. Oh God, I hope they don't do like a 2 episode.
They are, aren't they?
For Bad Batch, yes. For Mandalorian, I don't know yet. But this is supposed to run into March. and they're doing again another two. They do a 2-episode season finale. Oh boy. But I mean, I guess the advantage, at least the slight advantage to these episodes, is that they're 24 minutes, 20 minutes.
Which one? Oh, Bad Batch.
Bad Batch. So they're not as long as Mandalorian, which weren't they like 45 minutes? 40 minutes? Usually?
Mando?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mando was better. It was better than Andor because we had 9 minutes of credits in Andor. So it was kind of a blessing and a curse. But Mando is, I think, about 40-ish.
Well, Mando was actually properly formatted for their time.
I mean, that's the one.
At least generally they were. Andor, no freaking way. They padded that stuff so goddamn hard.
Yeah.
Let's see, Star Wars, Mandalorian. Let's go to season 2. Yeah. Their episodes were about 40, 46, 31 minutes, 44, 37, 33. So yeah, they're all about in that 30 to 40 minute range.
So excited, Bear.
And you just can't hide it.
When does it start? Wednesday?
January 4th, Wednesday. Oh, I'm going to be so dead on that day.
We're doing just one. We just need to keep it to one.
I'd rather just pull the Band-Aid and get both episodes done.
I can't do it. It's easy for you. It's hard for me because I just want to blow my brains out. Like you could do it a day and recover and
yeah, I'm really debating things. Oh man.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I said, I don't know. With it approaching with Mandalorian, I don't know.
What do you want to do? What are your thoughts?
All right, that's
because there's going to be. So how many episodes is this season 2? So we're thinking 24.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's 16 episodes again for Bad Batch.
Season 2.
Yeah, season 2. And Mandalorian has been like 8 episodes.
So are they gonna run into each other?
8 episodes, yeah. Yeah, we just saw it. They're gonna at least if what I found was true, that the season 1 starts on March 1st. Then yeah, they're gonna run into each other. Unless that gets changed last minute because they're like, well, maybe we shouldn't have them overlap. Maybe we should push them back to another date. So,
well, if we don't do one, we're gonna have to figure. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something. It's always hard though to do one and then stop and then go to the other one and then go back to the other one.
Yeah, your brain does get a little jumbled.
I'm not mentally stable enough to do multiple episodes of Bad Batch to get it done before. Well, they're going to run into each other no matter what. I mean, no matter how you play it, unless you somehow can figure out how to pirate Bad Batch season 2 from China. Get the episode sooner, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll see, because it's like I've been enjoying doing my streams on like Wednesday, Thursdays and stuff.
Well, I think then we just keep it to one episode then.
We'll see.
So
I don't know. I might just knock them out and just be like, okay, now I got the rest of the day because I get up early too.
Well, then then more power to you. You go ahead and knock them out, and I'll just do my one. I don't want to do 2. It's just so mentally draining. It's so and you know they're going to be bad. So,
well,
I'll just get on Reddit. I'll just download a.
You get the Cliff Notes on Reddit.
Yeah, I'll get the Cliff Notes. It's just so. Then I got to be up early on Thursdays. It's just hard. Oh, why did Andor pop up? Here's the thing: they're not even like promoting it yet on. They're not even promoting on the app yet. I don't even see it. Oh, yes, they are. Season 2.
Oh, a Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disney. So that's Wednesday. So it's technically Thursday morning or Wednesday morning. That's Wednesday mornings.
Probably Wednesday morning or Wednesday night, depending on however they drop it.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be hard for me because I might have to just do one. I don't know. We'll see. Is it gonna be 2?
2 episodes? Yeah, it's 2-episode premiere. You hear that pain, folks? That's real pain right there.
It's like telling a child to eat their food. Like, was I go to bed? I don't know. I'll play it by ear. It depends. I'll say this: it'll be dependent on if I get through 2. It'll be dependent on how atrocious the first one is. We'll just say that. If Record continues to have a Pringle brain, I'm only going to do 1.
Oh, well, you could probably be guaranteed Record's going to still have his Pringle brain. Just to the extent of how bad his Pringle brain effects will be. That's then the other question. And will we get answers?
I'm busy Thursday. I have to go to the farmer's market and buy fruit. That I'm like to.
You sound so convinced.
That's gonna be bad 1000%.
You don't know. It might be okay,
We watched the trailer. It was bad.
It was very formulaic, yes.
They're on some coast in South Africa. Yeah. I don't even want to watch the trailer again.
I wouldn't subject you to the trailer again, so you're okay.
But you're going to subject me to 2 episodes.
Yes, I will, because if I'm going to put myself through it, I'm going to put you through it too.
Well, I'm just telling you to put yourself through 1. We'll do a poll. I'm going to type a poll right now. Should we watch 1 or 2 episodes? Really not excited.
I mean, all depending on who you're directing that poll towards, it's like
Oh yeah, well, probably the same. Not the same people that Star Wars Theory was directing this poll to. Definitely not those, because it will be in favor 99.1%.
Can I even? Oh, I can start a poll. Yeah,
start a poll. Should we do 1? Would you want to see? Yeah, you want to see 2 episodes or just 1?
If there's to anybody watching, we're putting. Should we watch 1 or 2 episodes of Bad Batch season 2? Cast your votes now.
Yeah.
And if Sheev is watching, he's probably Mr. Insect is gonna probably hit yes.
Yeah, his vote. If there's 1 vote already.
Oh wait, no, hang on. I gotta end that poll. Hang on. I messed that up. 1 or 2. Okay. There we go. Now I did it correctly.
Did you? Okay.
So we shall see.
You had one article here that I think so we got about 30. Well, I don't know. A couple minutes left.
I had topics and then we just kind of went off kilter.
What about the one? So in the show notes with the one that we were just talking about in the middle.
The rip-off alien?
No.
Don't want to get back
the
to
alternate ending one.
Oh, back to Ahsoka stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Over that one. That one looks really just like I want to lose my mind.
Okay. So yeah, Disney's Plus Ahsoka rumored to include alternate ending for Revenge of the Sith. So what I believe it's supposed to be, I don't know if it's a world between worlds sort of situation or if it's just kind of a what if scenario. I don't know, but whatever it is, they're doing it. And so according to a rumor, Ahsoka and Darth Vader will face off in an alternate take on the Revenge of the Sith ending in the upcoming Star Wars series Ahsoka. Ahsoka, the upcoming Rosario Dawson-led live-action series, is expected to hit Disney Plus sometime in 2023 or early 2024, so we might be spared till next year, to the following year.
So pumped.
And will supposedly serve as a sequel to the hit animated show Star Wars Rebels. Not much has been seen or heard from the project, aside from a brief teaser that was shown to those in attendance at Star Wars Celebration 2022. The show will showcase a completely new and unexplored area of the Star Wars universe, as Dawson's Ahsoka and Natasha Liu Bordizzo Sabine Wren search for Rebels Jedi Ezra Bridger, who I think will become the new Joseph Borath. Now, a new rumor seemingly pulled the curtain back further on the streaming series and the potential clash between Ahsoka and her final master in a familiar locale. A journey back to Mustafar. According to a new report Making Star Wars, Ahsoka will feature a battle between the titular Jedi and Darth Vader in a sequence that recreates the ending of Revenge of the Sith. Battle is rumored to play out just like the climactic action sequence from the 2005 film, with Ahsoka in place of Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi. MSW source told the outlet Hayden Christensen, who was confirmed to appear in the series back in 2021, is undergoing training for the project, as he will be seen battling without his Vader mask and is said to be wearing an identical outfit to the one from the end of Revenge of the Sith. The sequence will also reportedly feature a new younger actor playing Ahsoka going against her former master in lightsaber combat. So then that question becomes, does the actress still have her voice, or do they pull a Darth Maul and revoice her with Ashley Eckstein? So kind of a or keep Rosario Dawson doing the voice. Seeing this rumor will surely have some Star Wars fans scratching their heads asking about Revenge of the Sith style battle between Vader, Anakin, and Ahsoka. There have been whispers about Ahsoka possibly using the multiverse world between worlds, which we've discussed before. So this could very well be evidence of that. The timeline jumping plane has only been seen on screen in Star Wars Rebels, so this would mark the first time that Force has seen in live action. A quote-unquote significant battle between Ahsoka and Vader has already been teased for the series, so perhaps this is that very conflict. It is unknown just how involved Hayden Christensen is going to be in the streaming epic. However, it feels like this could be the main meat and potatoes of his appearance. Ahsoka is currently in production and is expected to release sometime in 2023 or early 2024. So, yes, that was... I saw a few different versions of this article floating around. It would certainly be, then that's where kind of the Star Wars theory poll comes about, why that is. So, yeah, it just kind of, the thing that I could just foresee is that naturally,
They'll start utilizing the world between worlds.
Not just that, but also just Dave Filoni will be, of course, making Ahsoka look the bestest ever in this fight in some manner or another. At least that's the way I could see it going.
It sounds like this is going to be a recreation of their fight on whatever planet that was.
Malachor. Yeah, Malachor 4, I think that one was.
Not Malachor.
Was that 5? No, 4.
One of the Malachors.
Yeah, because Filoni wanted to grab the Malachor name and drop it in. Because we know, Trash Panda Filoni.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this is only what I could foresee is that, it's gonna be a partial recreation, maybe some same dialogue thrown in.
It's gonna be,
but it's gonna be.
Is this gonna go before? Is this gonna predate? What version of Ahsoka is this? Is this old Ahsoka?
Well, they said, a possible younger version of Ahsoka.
What if
this would be her?
Wouldn't it be something if she destroyed?
But the problem is with all this is that as that fight was potentially going down, her and Darth Maul were escaping also off of the Republic ship that he got captured on after getting caught on Mandalore. So
it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to question it because nobody would be stupid enough to question it.
Except us.
What if they do the whole her like a live action version of
I could just see it just being mostly a what if. It'll be a big what if sort of story. What if so even my idea of,
it's not gonna be what if because they can utilize War Between Worlds and make it an actual thing.
Right. But like I said,
it would be interesting if it was after the fight of Obi-Wan and Anakin on like Kenobi.
Oh God.
And then she busts his helmet again. So like she busts
his helmet more than it already got busted?
she busts his helmet in Rebels and then
so you're saying that then she's the one in Obi-Wan's place in that. Oh
well no or it happens 3 times. So she busted it once, then he got a new helmet. Obi-Wan busted again, then he gets another helmet, and then she busted again in the third one. So basically like Malachor, they fight on Malachor 5 and then they fight on Malachor 4 and then they fight on Malachor 5. I don't know. So I don't know, dude. It's so stupid. Because they obviously they took that whole fight in the Kenobi scene from the Rebels.
Yeah, and recreated it just so that they could go, hey, look, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. This is rumor, speculation, whatever. There's no concrete evidence at this time of this sort of conflict taking place. Just want to preface that basically, because I hate rumors half the time, but it does give some interesting conversation, that's for sure. I just wish they would just leave well enough alone. Yeah, you guys have been piss poor at creating your own storylines, but just try and stick to that. Maybe if you practice at it a little bit more, you might get better. I don't know. But stop mucking with the stuff that we know and love and enjoy and don't want to see bastardized by you lot. Just, try something else than staying in the same timeline that you've been staying in for all of this. But then it shows that their own lack of confidence in their own characters too, which is just hilarious.
Well, and it's very dangerous when you start playing the what if game because with them it's not a game, and it's like, well,
Why would we do?
Yeah,
what,
not
why,
anymore.
Why would we want to? Why would we want to? It's like, why does it have to be what if? Let's just make it a thing.
Right.
I've said it for a while. The war between worlds is their way of retconning it. What if World Between Worlds was like literally like the multiverse of Star Wars? Like different realities.
Yeah, I could see that happening. And I think that was part of our conversation with that too.
Well, I don't know if I ever brought up the multiverse. Maybe. Like the DC has the multiverse and Marvel has their alternate reality.
Yeah,
but
everybody does.
Like these different doors are like just different realities. Like, you know, for instance, Anakin never married Padme, and Ahsoka was actually Luke and Leia's mom, and Leia was actually a Torgu.
And we go back to that.
I'm just saying, or you know, Boba actually married Finnick. And
hey,
they gave birth to Cad Bane. Or he's a clone. It's so you laugh, but it's so stupid that it like you know that this like it's
I can't put it past
off.
them for doing something so ridiculous. Yes, that's
Or,
true.
Or
that's true.
Ezra Bridger became Palpatine's apprentice because the Palpatine knew of the power of the Morse gods or whatever it was, more gods or what was it? What was that the arc?
Oh. Mobius gods or something. I don't know.
Whatever it was.
Whew.
Or they'll just come out and just retcon it once George dies. But one of the two.
I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting.
Star Wars
for them
never
to do
had
the big
like
retcon.
Like they had the expanded universe. We have the EU. But like, what if they're like, well, we want our own thing and we're just gonna create it like a multiverse? Like, can you imagine like if like you opened a door, you could see Anakin fighting Ahsoka, and that fight with Obi-Wan never took place. The fight between the fight of like Obi-Wan and Anakin never took place. It was actually Ahsoka on Mustafar with Anakin.
Like she stayed as a Jedi or something.
Yeah, yeah, and like and Obi-Wan was just never like he got whatever.
Oh no! Don't stop!
I'm just saying, bro. Just saying. You open that door and you see, like, you actually look into the door and you see, like,
oh, I could stay. Obi-Wan dies to Count Dooku
or Grievous.
Or Grievous. I thought about Grievous, but I went with Dooku first just because that seemed more likely.
Yeah.
Just because of how
he
that
doesn't
whole
get
scenario
he doesn't get to he doesn't get to save him on Attack of the Clones, or he's too late.
Oh.
Or he arrives on he's on Geonosis, and he's the same scene, and then like Ventress like comes up behind it, like he throws Anakin. He's like, Anakin, no, stop! Or he's like, Anakin, wait! And he Force lightnings him and Force pushes him over, and like Ventress comes out of nowhere and kills Obi-Wan, and then Anakin ends up killing Dooku, and then he becomes I don't know. It's just so stupid to even talk about, but
that's the problem when you start opening up.
Yeah,
that's when you
Hondo
start.
Actually, Hondo is the one who killed Obi-Wan.
This is the problem when you start introducing things like time travel when it didn't necessarily exist in a way in which you could muck around. Maybe because there was Jason Solo, who did like this force walk thing to kind of visit the past, but he could only watch it. He was an observer, nothing more. He could not interact with it. He could not mess with it. He could just observe. So he went back to observe Anakin and how he fell to become Darth Vader. So, but again, at least it wasn't him interfering with time, but merely observing it through the power of the Force. Yeah. While this is like this whole time door thing where, there are certain points of time in which you can interact with, like it was. Ezra saved Ahsoka from her fate against Darth Vader. And he wanted to save Kanan, but was talked out of it because of, his sacrifice and stuff like that. So
I just didn't know the Force allowed you to time travel. I thought the one rule with time travel is you never mess with time travel. Or
well, like I said, it wasn't. It was more of like, say, okay. So, since I was just kind of listening to the audiobook, think of like the pensive from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Memories taken out. I would say it's kind of like that, where you become more of an observer than you do actually like going like I say, to interact with time. You don't get to interact with it. You can just observe it. So I would say,
but even observing has the potential of interacting with it, though.
No, because he can't like physically talk to anybody or touch anybody or talk to them and stuff like that. So he couldn't like warn Anakin, go, "You're going down a retarded path. Stop it. You're going to doom the galaxy to 20 years of darkness." It's just called, he can only see what was going on. Meanwhile, the world between worlds or whatever, you can actually pull somebody at a time.
So did Ezra, was that time travel or was that observing what happened?
That was time travel. He was like time traveling in a sense. It was like I said, he went to another point in time where Ahsoka, quote unquote, her fate was quote unquote ambiguous, but we all knew she was probably gonna live.
Yeah.
But he went back in time. He went to one of the doors, saw that encounter that was going on, yanked her out, and saved her from her fate. But she did eventually go back to Malachor to basically like it was kind of weird. It was stupid.
This whole time travel thing is very irritating because I don't know anything about it.
When you start mucking with the idea of time travel, yes, it's very messy, and unless you got really skilled writers to piece a good story together, it's a very complicated and can be very convoluted and very messy and yada, yada, yada.
Basically, what you're saying is just everything that we've seen that DSW is produced.
Keep it, if you're gonna do something, keep it very simple in its rules and stuff like that. Like I said, with the Force Walk thing, all he could do was observe. There was nothing else more. Because that was even how he was. Oh, I forgot the girl's name, but she was kind of becoming Jason Solo's new apprentice, as he was becoming Darth Kaitis, and he was kind of manipulating her because she was also in love with Anakin Solo. I forgot her name though. God dang it. So he was kind of using that Force Walk vision to kind of also mess with her and kind of go, this is what's possible with my new powers. To see loved ones again. But like I said, it wasn't a way of actually pulling someone out of time, if I recall.
Wasn't there just one show where they got like time traveling right, and that's like Bill and Ted's Awesome Adventure or something like that?
Bill and Ted has its own problems.
Does it really?
Even Back to the Future, to a degree, has some problems with time travel. My brother and I have had late night conversations about this. Among the
Not Back to the Future.
Yeah, it can kind of, because it kind of starts asking about, okay, so he and basically, like, example, like in one timeline, he's basically gone now. Like Marty McFly in a timeline does not go back to his time. He just vanishes off the face of the earth, or just creates a whole new alternate timeline by the fact that he, got his parents together and they're much better off or whatever. His mom's not an alcoholic and everything. So it certainly is creating alternate timelines, but is it the correct timeline, or alternate one. It's a lot of questions. One of the few games that a video game that I still love and I think did some good writing with the time travel was the Legacy of Kain series. Like I felt like they kept it simple, but also were very coherent or consistent with their own rules, and also they're keeping together the storyline on everything that they set up. But I don't know, I could just be biased, so just because I love that series and all of it. So otherwise, don't just suddenly insert time travel to where time travel has never existed in your property unless you really want it to be a portion of it. Because otherwise, then it's just called, we need a Deus Ex Machina tool. And hey, time travel is a very easy one to use, or at least just a quick fix sort of thing. So let's use that. But at least try and come up with some good rules or consistent rules and stuff like that. It's kind of I liked Quantum Leap for some of that. They had a good explanation. And what always bugged me was something like Doctor Who when he just said wibbly wobbly timey wimey. He's like, God, guy, come on, give us something. So,
sorry, technical difficulties.
Do something right with your time travel. Don't just forcibly insert it somewhere. Actually, have it as a mechanic in your universe.
I always thought
ahead of time.
I always thought Back to the Future got it right. I didn't think it had its.
No, I think they did a good job. I just think that there are certain things that are kind of like questionable sometimes, That's all. Otherwise, I think they did a very good job.
It's kind of like, it needs to be like Fight Club. The first rule about Fight Club is
you don't talk about Fight Club,
right? So
right.
The first rule about time travel is don't mess with time travel. But I can also this just came to my mind, and I hope it doesn't happen. But if I promise you, if I see an episode or whatever, what we were just talking about, if Anakin is fighting a squid on Mustafar, like a squid whale,
oh God,
I'm coming for you. This squid whale has more lightsabers than General Grievous. Like, General Anakin or General Skywalker. I saw this video. It's just kids today, but it's like they were at I don't know, Walmart or something, but they had wrapping paper, and they had this. So one had two things of wrapping paper, and then the other guy had his buddy on his back. He was like, General Kenobi, and he was like flipping around the wrapping paper in his hand, looking like General Grievous.
Oh God,
I don't know. They gotta do something, man, because with this world between world crap.
Yeah, it's gonna be messy. That's for damn sure. It's gonna be messy. Hopefully, all you can just say is you hope that they aren't gonna do anything too egregious. But this is Disney, Lucasfilm.
Is Ahsoka gonna be a rip on? Well, it can't be a rip on Heir of the Empire, but
they're gonna definitely copy the Thrawn trilogy with Ahsoka. Like I said, she's gonna be the new Luke Skywalker of it, and Ezra's gonna be the new Sabaoth.
No.
Controlling the new clones, because we saw that base get established basically in a Bad Batch. So yeah, we're going down that road, brother.
What if they rewrite the books to where this Sabaoth use the same technology that Ethan Hunt did in Mission Impossible, and he was actually Ezra Bridger, just wearing a mask, or he's like the human target of DC. And Sabaoth was never really a character. It was just Ezra Bridger. Always. And Talon Card was actually the guy from Andor. The guy that wanted to have his son date.
Well, it's funny, all you're gonna have is basically stand-ins for the characters, because in Rebels they killed off Rook, the Nogri, who kills Thrawn in the books. But, all you're just gonna end up having is basically, stand-ins or just new iterations of the same character. It's like, what was the point of that when you already had the original characters to do it with?
Last time I checked, it was really hard to kill the Nogri.
What's that?
So last time I checked, it was really hard to kill the Nogri.
I forget how Rook got killed in Rebels. I forget.
And last time I checked, the Nogri was they were like a race that you didn't really. I mean, they were freaking assassins, right?
They were kind of a warrior caste.
Yeah.
Warrior clan sort of thing. That Vader had happened to stumble upon, and then brought them into
There's
his
a
service.
comic where they butchered it there, like the Nogri, it was like Leia was like, my father was kind to you, and Vader showed you mercy. I don't know. There's something in a comic where they really butchered that story. I forget what comic it was. It was a Marvel comic or something, I'm sure. They never get it right. But they're like, my father spared your race, so therefore you can spare us, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Probably the same writer that had Vader shaking in his boot, cowering to that handmaiden, Padme's handmaiden. Probably the same writer.
Oh.
Who had, got her start by writing for Kathleen Kennedy. Tell this story. Have Vader cower in his boots to the handmaiden.
Oh. Wait.
You know what I'm talking about? That's one you were telling me about.
We've had one vote so far.
Is it Sheev?
I don't know. It might have been. I just know is that so far saying 2 episodes, 100%. One vote.
It's Sheev, sir. It's Mr. Insect. 100%.
I just need now a video of him. It was me all along.
Was it you?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh.
Well, I'll end the poll there.
Not until you read my message I just sent you.
Oh dear. He says no.
Oh, Mr. Insect, if you're watching, I'm gonna find you. Should play the trailer, or the Taken quote is like, I will find you and I will kill you.
And then I'll just probably cut to a clip of Mr. Insect just laughing.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, yeah, about that time. I don't have anything else.
We've been going for a good 2 hours. Just kind of shooting
nice
the shit.
palate cleanse, talking shop, trying to figure out if we're gonna watch 2 or 1. I wasn't able to vote, so
well, I closed the poll.
That's not fair.
I told you I was closing it. You had that whole time since I had put it up to be able to vote. I left it the way it was.
No.
That's on you, brother. That's on you, brother.
To be determined. So,
indeed.
Well, I hope everybody has. I don't know if anybody's doing festivities tonight, tomorrow.
Whatever.
But appreciate you guys. You guys make what the show is.
It's been awesome.
You guys make the show what it is. What a year,
Absolutely.
man. This year, just in closing, I think we've gotten through what all have we gone through? That's one thing I wanted to cover really quick. Like what we did. So we started this.
We started this with the Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba.
We went through seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian.
Mando.
And then we went through the whole episode. Yeah, then we did the whole season of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Bad Batch season 1. And then we took a break, but then we had Andor and finished up Bad Batch. So
7 different things that we've gone through in a year.
Jesus.
Well, not a year, but I mean, probably a year because we didn't start this until
we started it January 8th, 2022.
So it was 7 things in
a year.
And out of the 7 things, they're probably all on the same level of just crap. Some a little bit more solid than the other.
If only they could have been good, but no.
That's crazy. 7. It's like going back, and it's like, you know, it doesn't seem like when we were doing Book of Boba, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it does seem that long. It's like, the yesteryears of watching the Power Rangers.
Well, and what's funny too is like in between that time, I streamed and got through Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast.
Yeah.
I got through Republic Commando. Mr. Insect and I played Diablo 2.
Yeah, he's still
and we beat that. I beat Dark Forces 1. I've actually beaten some games this year for once.
Yeah.
They're just starting up games and not finishing them, which has been generally my MO. We've gotten through the full chapter 1 of Star Wars The Old Republic. We got to get you through all 3 sooner or later.
Before we start Diablo 3.
Before we start Diablo 3. Yes, correct. I gotta say I'm a little proud of myself for beating those games.
What a year, man. What a year. I guess in closing, how would you rank the set? Like, what was your favorite thing to review? That's how we'll end it. So what was your favorite thing to review and what was your least favorite? We already know Andor is probably on the bottom. Kenobi's probably a peg up, but favorite to least. Or least a favorite.
Least a favorite, probably least was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Probably, you know, in terms of like memeability and everything, probably Book of Boba Fett had the highlights. Just because of how freaking goofy that was. All the weird, dumb stuff that came out of that show. It was just hilariously bad, but it was still damaging to Boba Fett as a character. But I almost feel like he could survive it a little bit, and like crawling out of the Sarlacc, you know, could find a new life. But
him or the Slave One, which one?
Oh, don't remember. Oh God, Slave One. Now called the Fire Spray.
Fire Spray. I apologize. Fire Spray. Being ate by the Sarlacc pit.
Like I said, there was just so much goofy stuff that came out of that show. Because otherwise, then like some of them were just so straight laced. So it just didn't offer the same level of goofiness that, for some reason, Book of Boba Fett was all about, or like what it came to be. Because I mean, God, the Moped Rangers, the kaiju fight in the city.
The assassins with the force field, the personal force field shields.
Yeah, you know, the fact that all roads lead to the sequel trilogy with Luke being very clearly still doing the old Jedi teachings. So, yeah, I mean, it was a lot of confirmation there. And then, like it was, I mean, Mandalorian was just kind of okay. it'll be
So
interesting
you're going
to
from
see.
you're going favorite to least, right? Or you're going least?
I
to
went from
favorite?
least. I went from
Okay.
least to favorite. Now I'm just kind of filling in between. Andor, I would say, would probably be right above Obi-Wan Kenobi, just because of how dry and dull and just it was. It wasn't, and I mean, God, it had so much stupid stuff in there. Especially with go check out Raging Rhino's video of the of Luthen's shop of trinkets and goodies and stuff. He did a good job of that. That was just nonsensical. Then probably Mandalorian Bad Batch. They're probably just, they were in okay-ish territories. Except for you reminded me of Bad Batch season 2 or season 1 in the beginning.
What was that?
Oh yeah, if I remember right, was it in Andor or Bad Batch? You reminded me of early episodes that made me go, "Oh crap, that's right." Actually, it's
it was Andor.
Oh,
no,
it was Andor. No, it was Bad Batch, wasn't it?
Bad Batch. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, but otherwise, I'd say probably just the most hilarious thing was Book of Boba Fett. The worst, the most painful was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And then just stuff in the middle.
Then there's the stuff in the middle. Yeah.
I'd say probably my least favorite, going least to favorite. Probably, I want to say Andor, but I really want to say Kenobi. I'm going to say Kenobi. I'm going to say Andor. I'm going to say Mando 1 and 2, Bad Batch, and then my favorite was Book of Boba.
So kind of the same as me a little bit.
Well, you said your least favorite was Book of Boba, or is that your favorite?
No, my favorite was Book of Boba.
Okay,
my least favorite was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just how damaging that was.
Yeah, just because it was it's so stupidly funny.
Yeah,
and you have no other choice but to laugh at how stupid it is. So
exactly, and like you said, there's Danny Trejo, so
And I mean, he made the show, man. Danny Trejo made the show, dude. And it's just I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think we've ever seen a show that has given us so many memes, good memes, other than Book of Boba.
Right.
I mean, it's so fun. You have to sit there and ask the question, did they intentionally do this, or were they just so stupid that they actually had mopeds that matched the Power Rangers?
Right.
Are you that stupid? Did you do this? Was it by accident, or is that what you were going for? And to have a Rancor that reminds you of, early 90s version of King Kong tearing a city apart, or the one where he's climbing up on the building that looks like a fire. And then the mod parlor, a tattoo, just 1000% reminds you of a tattoo parlor in a not
basically
town,
basically,
and just the memes Pretty Tales. Your favorite, what's her name? Your favorite character, the mechanic from Tatooine, the female.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yes, yes, you do. The one that
I don't.
The one that loves the baby Grogu and the mayor's assistant. Pretty Tales. The Twi'lek mayor assistant.
I don't know.
What's her name?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, she's got the not the buzz droids, the pit droids. Yeah, that one. Just so bad. And then the back to tank, not even a back to bed. And then
his back to bed.
And with the new noble Boba. It's I'm going to rule with respect.
Yeah.
And so
maybe we're not cut out for this.
Maybe we're not cut out for this.
What?
So I think also because it was our first show and there's nostalgia there, but it was so bad that it was almost funny versus like Obi-Wan. I just wanted to literally blow my brains out because I'm like, you had the book.
Yeah.
And they had books. I mean, you could have followed Karen Travis's work because I don't know. I think she's one who created the Mandalorian race. It's not like you know what I mean.
He certainly helped flesh it out. Yeah.
So, but it's just it's so bad. It's just so bad that it's funny. But like, there wasn't really anything like in Mando that was like really funny. Like the one scene that I remember, I think is in season 2, was like it just like Rocky Balboa scene where he's in the meat locker and he like cuts the dude in half. I'm like, okay, like the one thing I remember from season 2, but everything else is just,
that was Book of Boba Fett. That was when he
was that in Book of Boba?
That was in Book of Boba Fett. When he, remember the Mando dedicated episodes. We just joked that it was the actual premiere episodes for Book of Boba Fett, but they decided, or for Mandalorian season 3, but they decided to throw it into this show because goddamn was that show floundering.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I stand corrected. Yeah, but everything else, like, it was basically just Mando and Grogu.
Yeah.
Which you would think that, let's say, Book of Boba, and then my least favorite, I don't know, man, Andor's close, though. Like, it was on a different level of pain. Like, there was just no...
Yeah, Andor was just, like I said, so dry and so
boring. Sad and boring. You said sad and boring?
Sad and boring. It was... And it was...
Let Perrin be the spokesperson of their show.
It was basically like, you know... They destroyed another character via Mon Mothma. They just, I mean, it wasn't as bad as like Obi-Wan, but I mean, it was still bad.
Yeah.
And so much of it just didn't make any sense. Again, the Luthen's shop of trinkets that he just somehow got his goofy hands
and you
on.
know what? We will never find out how he got a holocron, a Sith holocron, on the same
and a kyber crystal that was apparently oh god.
And we'll never find out how he, on the same planet where the Dark Lord of the Sith resides, and who has
they're cotton. It was right. It was our cotton
crystal, and Star Killer's armor, where in canon doesn't Palpatine. No, I mean, you know, it was an alternate ending where he kills Star Killer.
Stop it! I'd forgotten. I'd wiped Andor out of my brain. You're making me remember again.
Yeah. And Padme's headpiece. How did he get that? What else was in there, hidden in there? Oh, the Morse arc. He had the tablets from the Morse arc.
Yeah.
Morse arc. Yeah, and then you can't forget the Gungan shields, personal Gungan shields.
Yeah, he managed to get his hands on a lot of damn stuff. That's for sure.
What else did he have? Oh, and he had the some Twilight headpiece from Rebels, I think.
He had some Twi'lek family heirloom piece that wouldn't have made any sense that he would have had.
The one thing he didn't have that I would have thought he would have had would be the that Wookiee lightsaber, the wooden lightsaber hilt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's Freyr and Chundar's blaster, bowcaster?
Oh boy. Yep. So yeah, probably Obi-Wan and Andor kind of are really running for that first and second place medals of just being.
I guess it's what perspective you're taking. Yeah, what perspective are you taking? Like, the one thing that would have made Obi-Wan worse is when Anakin or when Obi-Wan is about to basically cut his helmet, is if like Ahsoka came out and said, "Don't do it, Obi-Wan," or something like that, where like he shows up and was like, "Stop fighting."
No, that was the thing. Filoni knows when to keep Ahsoka out of certain things. This was clearly a situation where he knew he had to keep her out of it because it was bad.
Yeah.
He's like, you can ruin any other characters but mine. Because none of his characters popped in. They sure shit took a dump on Organa, and they took a huge dump on Obi-Wan, and they took a big old steaming pile on Vader and Palpatine at the end there.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Andor's just... I don't know. Now I don't know who's number one and who's number two. It's so hard. Like,
they each get a participation trophy at this point. You showed up, you tried, but you just didn't cut it.
That's our generation. You get a trophy for second place. But then like the ridiculous, and then somebody was basically not calling us up, but it's like, this technology already exists. Everybody wants to say he had lightsabers coming out of his ship and that he's a Jedi, that this technology was already around, and they showed the Gungan, or not the Gungan, the Republic transport, I forget the name, not the ATTE, but the gunship, the Republic gunship.
Yeah. Well, that was a completely setup.
Oh god, yeah. But yeah, who got these bunch of needles that destroyed the array dish, whatever you call it, the tracking beam dish or whatever. But it's just so bad, dude. It's like, he's just so bad, dude. And then he's like, goes from leave somebody alive, leave the very person alive that just witnessed you kill somebody, and don't kill anybody in the bar, to like, you don't care about anybody, you'll kill anybody. And then we get, Namek, because they like Dragon Ball Z, getting crushed to death. It's just so bad. And the whole manifesto thing, like, I'm gonna get inspiration from this manifesto.
Yep, I called it. I at least got that right.
The argument could be made that he wasn't getting inspiration from the manifesto, but from Namek, who wrote the manifesto.
Yeah,
but it's neither here nor there. But it's just so bad, dude. I don't know. It takes would I rather watch Andy Secrets,
Andy Serkis?
Andy Serkis, or Ingram Moses?
For what?
Well, just what would I rather watch? That whole part of the story in Andor, or the whole Ingram Moses thing? Moses Ingram. I say Ingram Moses Ingram, or whatever. It's like, choose your pick your poison.
Oh God, I'd probably go
or the pompous
the Andor route over
the pompous prude Inquisitor. The one good thing about Andor is Perrin. I like Perrin. The only thing I liked about Andor was Perrin. I was like, you could.
He had the most relatable line. Everything was so sad and boring.
He could run for prime minister or president any day and be totally fine. It's just bad. It's all bad. Choose your perspective, but it's like, what would you rather watch? A fight scene between a rock crushing plant, or a boring dinner scene where mom, who's never there, gets called out from adolescent daughter going through puberty?
That whole relationship is so borked. Jesus Christ!
It's like, what, are we watching? Was Guiding Light, or As the World Turns, or what? Are we watching some soap opera, or are we watching Star Wars? At the core, they destroyed characters. Ugh, now my brain, like I can't even. Now I'm in a daze thinking about Kenobi. I want to go back and what Kenobi could have been like. They could have done what they've done. They could have had done what they did. But if they would have put, I keep forgetting his name, but the guy that Oren Gall turned him into a Tusken, that would have saved the whole show. That would have saved the whole show if at the end we just see this guy just wake up with metal pieces in his mouth. Maybe not, but boy can dream.
Indeed. Well,
I wanted to end it on a good note, but now I'm depressed about watching Kenobi and realizing how bad it is, or reminiscing about how bad it was. I'm gonna go read the book now.
Well, we can now also just end it how we know best, and just say, thank you everybody that's come in, has watched, has listened, and everything. And don't forget, please subscribe to all of our channels, either here on YouTube, on Rumble, on BitChute, on Odyssey. I've got the Fractured Filter all over the gosh darn place, especially for video. And do please try and get us up to 100 subs on Rumble, so I can start streaming on there. That would be awesome. We're on Twitch. I've been doing Twitch streams and stuff like that, going through since I finished Dark Forces, I might just focus on playing Final Fantasy VII, getting through that game. Then
one of the TIE Fighter games.
I may I might get back to Mysteries of the Sith and play through the rest of that. So
or we'll do a poll, Diablo 3.
Well, that will come with Shenanigans once we get through the 3 chapters of SUTOR. Those are like the 3 free chapters that you get. So
then you have to pay for more.
Then you'd have to pay for more. You would. We've already Mr. Insect and I have already given our dues, so
that might come.
So if you wanted to see more of the later story stuff to get through that, you'd have to shell out some bucks. But if we get you through the 3 chapters, then at least you've seen the main good portion of the story, and we can then think about maybe playing some Diablo 3 or something like that. My brother and I are trying to figure out what game we want to play next for Brothers of Destruction co-op. So keep an eye out for that. We haven't decided yet. We're still trying to think of something. We've been getting a few ideas, but we're still trying to get something concrete that we were like, we're going to go with that.
Halo, get an Xbox.
Ugh.
How dare you?
Otherwise, also be sure you follow Jay Hitman. He will possibly start cropping up with some more things here and there. We'll see.
Yes.
He has his Twitch channel.
The start of 2023 is going to be the start of
the rise of Jay Hitman.
Yeah. Jay Hitman has been lacking in the social media business, so I think 2023 things will be coming with hopefully the help of my counterpart, my friend.
I will do my best. My best.
The goal is to try to achieve 100 so we can get on Rumble, because I feel like Rumble's just a easier platform for. Well, I say easier. It's harder to get there because they're stingy with however many follows you have to get on YouTube.
Well, at least the thing is that you can do it that way. You don't have to for some, all these places, they have their little niches that you got to kind of work around. So I'm just glad that at least they make it easy that I can link up the YouTube channel so it'll automatically share videos and stuff. So I'm glad for that at least.
Yeah.
That makes that part easy. It's just the thing that sucks for the streaming. That's all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm pretty interested on where each of these platforms are going.
Yeah.
Otherwise, so with that, I'll say Happy New Year, everyone. Here's to 2023.
Let's go. So pumped.
Yeah. With much success and much more enjoyment and fun. Here's to it. Let's go. And so that, good night. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring. The one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, that put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter rage!